Legislators throughout our nation have been tasked to regulate an addictive drug that is a cash-only product, is illegal under federal law, is a Schedule I substance, that is not supported by medical associations nor scientific research, can be grown in people's backyards, and lacks evidence-based best practice guidelines. To say this is complex is more than an understatement. Legislators must carefully evaluate and discern the impact their decision will have on everyone in their state and surrounding states. Let's review alcohol and prescription drugs, specifically narcotics. There's no disagreement that alcohol, an addictive drug and highly regulated drug, causes major problems on our roads and in our families, and it's the third leading preventable death in our nation. Prescription drugs, specifically narcotics, is another highly regulated, highly abused, and misused drug. Purdue Pharma claimed this drug was not addictive and marketed it as a drug for mild to moderate pain. This fraudulent marketing and misinformation created the pill mill crisis our nation experienced a decade ago and continues to take lives every day. Both these drug categories go through stringent screening processes and have a well-established distribution system, yet they both are severely abused and misused. Now we're expecting our legislators to attempt to regulate a drug that has been legalized as a medicine through popular vote and has circumvented the FDA process. Marijuana as a medicine seems antiquated given the current progress of modern medicine. I think these patients deserve better medicine than pot. Regardless of whether you agree with me or not, I believe everyone here wants to make this drug safe and as abuse-free as possible. Here are some of my concerns. Most states that have legalized medical marijuana, less than 5% use it for truly medical purposes. The remainder of the 95% use it for pain. No medical associations support this form of medication, to include the American Epilepsy Society, and I quote, "The anecdotal results of a few families in Colorado shared in the media should not be the basis for lawmaking. The rush by states to pass CBD legislation has created an unusual situation where people with epilepsy and their families are demanding access to a highly variable homegrown substance that may or may not be beneficial, and that medical and science communities lack the necessary efficacy and safety data to make good treatment decisions regarding cannabis for the people with epilepsy, especially in children." In a meta-analysis study of a total of 79 trials, which included 6,462 participants, only 4 were judged at a low risk of bias. More than 50% of the trials reported substantial withdrawals and didn't adequately account for this in their analysis. Also, there was no evidence that the effects of a cannabis differed from other cannabises. No product or strain specifically identified with any specific diseases or treatments. Financially, income from marijuana in the state of Colorado makes up less than 5% of the total budget revenues, and only 1% in Colorado. While the cost side of legalization is an unexpected and unbudgeted cost for many local communities, both financially and socially. In states that have legalized marijuana, the black market is thriving. For example, in Colorado, law enforcement officials have said that Colorado has now become a magnet for criminals coming to take advantage of the state's marijuana laws. The DEA supervisor said legalization was supposed to get rid of the black market. It hasn't done that. I would estimate that the black market has grown 20-fold since legalization. Add to that this is a cash-only product, you can imagine that crime has significantly increased. Some recommendations that may help prevent this abuse are: ban smoking. No medical documentation supports marijuana or any other drug be used in the smokable form. This is also the #1 abused form and is extremely unhealthy. Edibles. They shouldn't be allowed, but if you do allow them, make sure they don't resemble any form of traditional food, to include cookies, candies, or soda. I would recommend requiring all the products remain in their original color, or at a minimum, a consistent non-appealing color. Also, all products must require child-proof packaging and boldly labeled, "This product contains marijuana," with warning labels about the side effects. To help prevent interstate distribution, as experienced with the pill mill crisis, restrict access to Florida state residents only. Limit the number of dispensaries. The projected number of dispensaries is more than twice as many medical and retail shops in Colorado. Do we have that many sick people in our state? That would be twice as many McDonald's or Starbucks. On a side note, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, March of 2017, voted to ban all marijuana businesses in unincorporated county areas. That included cultivation and stores, pot shops, dispensaries. We want to prevent what happened with Big Pharma from happening with big marijuana. Lack of evidence-based data is a problem. Hearsay lacks scientific documentation, which is why your decisions are so important to the future of Florida and really our nation. Given the number of people dying in our state from opiate abuse, be it heroin or prescription drugs, we do not want to add fuel to the fire by inadequately regulating medical marijuana. Recommending marijuana as a medicine for some people is like giving sugar to a diabetic. It is not safe and it's not healthy.